Hi, welcome to yoga class. My name's Lou Horgan and I'm going to guide you through about an hour of prenatal yoga. This is a general level class. It's really geared towards my existing students, but if you haven't practiced with me before, welcome along. Please do take the advice of your healthcare professionals if you haven't undertaken any yoga classes or exercises before. It's always good to get the all clear from the people who are looking after you. This sequence is not suitable for women who have any pelvic girdle disorders. We take the legs into asymmetrical positions, so it's best not to practice if you have any groin, SPD, or sacroiliac issues. We'll have plenty more videos coming that will address those issues, but for now, just a general practice to stretch your body out, to breathe, and to connect with your baby. So enjoy. Thank you. Welcome to prenatal yoga. This is a general level. Joining me today on the mat is Dolores, and she's 31 weeks pregnant, and Julianne, and she's 39 weeks pregnant. So we're going to practice some breath work, some gentle movement, and just take it within your own pace at home. So let's start by taking our hands to our bellies. We're going to create what we call yoni mudra. It's a downward pointing triangle, and we're going to place the fingers right onto the pubic bone, and we're going to take our thumbs together just under the curve of your belly or under your belly button. So yoni translates to home in Sanskrit, and this is your baby's home, coming home to yourself. And our prenatal yoga practice is really all about just coming into your body, out of your busy head, out of your busy day, and settling into yourself to spend a little time in your body with your baby. So with the eyes closed, just disconnect from the world around you for a moment. The eyes close down and we take our attention inside. And just feel your hands on your low belly for a moment. And begin to be aware of your breathing. You don't need to change it. You don't need to grow it in any way. Just be aware of it. And beneath your hands lies your baby, safely nuzzled in your belly, in your womb. And we'll slowly begin to build the breath. So we're taking our inhale all the way down into our hands, all the way down into our low belly. And we're going to create an exhale that's a little bit longer than the inhale. We're going to breathe out through our mouths. In through the nose. And allow the exhale pass through slightly parted lips and try to extend the exhale as much as you can. Continue that, inhaling the breath all the way down to baby, into your belly, into your hands, and exhaling a long, smooth, even breath until you're empty. And as you breathe in this pattern, we signal the systems of the body to relax, and we deeply oxygenate the blood supply to baby. And this is also the breath that we bring to labor, the breath we use to breathe through contractions. So you can continue to breathe like this through the practice, or if you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, you can do that. A few more rounds out through the mouth. Grow your inhale. And lengthen your exhale. Soften your shoulders, your lips, your jaw, your tongue. And one last time. Leaving one hand on your belly, take the other hand to your heart center. So we place it right in the center of our chest. We have a nadi, or an energy channel, that connects the heart with the womb. So we're going to just pass some heart energy all the way down into baby, into the womb space. So as you inhale, breathe into the space of the heart. And as you exhale, send that energy down to your passenger on the inside. Breathing into the heart space, growing energy in the heart. And as you exhale, feel, sense, or visualize that breath traveling all the way down to baby on the inside. A few more rounds of breath here, just connecting the heart with the womb. And one last time. Keep the eyes closed and bring both hands back to your belly. Drop your chin down towards your chest and slowly open your eyes. So we'll give baby a little rubber, a little pat, just to let them know that they're going to be practicing some movements now. And we'll take our head back to center. Okay, so I'm sitting in a straddle, very easy. I'm going to take my hands forward to come to all fours. But if you're in a cross-legged position, you're going to just bring one leg around the back, the leg that's in front, and you're going to transition to all fours position. So we're all sitting on bolsters here in the studio, but you could be sitting on a cushion at home. Take everything off your mat for now. So we'll leave all the props to one side. Open up the palms of your hands, open up your fingers and place them down on the floor. Your knees are going to come to hips distance apart or a little bit wider. So to save the wrists being impacted, just take your hands slightly further forward. And feel the fingertips and the knuckles press down, so we get a sense of almost clawing the mat, and then our wrists will stay nicely protected for this little all fours sequence. So we'll move with our breathing, very simply, starting with a cow-cat movement. On the inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and as you exhale, curl in, hugging baby towards your spine and drawing your chin to your chest. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling and curling in. Baby hugs in and your chin drops and your tail tucks. 2 more of those on your own breath. And if it feels nice, close your eyes and just feel what's happening in your spine. Last one. Coming back to a neutral spine, step your left hand out to the left a little and widen your knees a fraction. We're going to breathe in and reach the right arm up to the ceiling. So we can stack the shoulders if we allow the hips to swing out to the side. Just allow your top arm to move back as far behind you as possible. Collarbones open, breath really full and deep. And as you exhale, take that hand back to the floor. And then change it over. Hips swing out to the left. Left arm reaches up for the ceiling. The gaze goes up if it feels okay on the neck. And the breath moves. As you exhale, bring the hand back towards the mat. Now move on your breath. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, take the hand back to the mat. Left side, breathing in. And exhaling and breathing out. Once more each side. Inhaling. And a nice slow movement to descend the hand just to feel the out breath nice and long. Great. So turn your hands back to face forward if they've turned out a little bit. And we're going to bring our knees together behind us. And we're going to come into a side angle stretch. So tuck the toes of your right foot and press back into your right heel and look forward. So yoga is always looking to refine our attention. So right now we're looking forward, but we're keeping our attention in our back foot, in our back heel. So press it towards the back of the mat. Lift the heart a little. Feel your calf muscle stretch and send your breath into the back of your leg. Lovely. We're going to pivot on the ball of the back foot, taking it to the floor, lining up the little toe with the back of the mat. So we want to keep the outer edge of the foot really solid. We're going to kick our shin back behind you. The left leg goes back in space to act as a balancing platform. And then very slowly, we're going to reach the right arm to the sky. And feel as you brought the arm up that the low bones of your low back draw in towards you and the chest opens towards the sky, and we lean back and we grow the space in the front body and we breathe into that. Lovely. Let's press into our back foot, rotate the palm to the face and reach our arm in. And it feels nice sometimes to look at that palm over your head to open the throat. But if that feels uncomfortable, just stay looking at the floor or ahead of you. Big breathing into your waist, your ribs, your armpit. On your next in-breath, reach the arm for the ceiling. Exhale, bring it all the way down to the floor and then drop your back knee. The knees are going to come back together. We'll try the other side. So left foot toes curl under, press back into the heel and look up a little. So just as you press the heel back, feel that in your leg and breathe into the stretch, into the feeling. So we don't resist the sensations of our body, we drop into them and we take that model into labor with us. It's not about resisting what we're feeling, it's about being in the sensation and breathing into it to dissipate its intensity. Turn the back foot, toes now point out to the left, little toe edge comes to the floor, kick your shin back, lovely. Very slowly take the left arm up to the sky. Take your time, feel what's happening in your low back as that arm goes up. And open your collarbones to the sky. And open your throat. And then feel that back foot on the mat, firmly planted. And rotate your top hand. And reach. And maybe follow the hand with your gaze. Big, full, deep breath. Lovely. Open your belly. Open your side body, and on your next inhale, we're going to take the arm up and exhale all the way back to the floor, dropping the back knee. Nice. So let's just ease out of the wrists a little bit. Take the hands forward just a bit. And then take your hips from side to side as if you had a tail and you were just wagging it. And you can exaggerate that movement by taking your bottom back to your heels and out to the side. Back to the heels and out to the side. And just make sure that you widen your knees enough to accommodate your baby so there's no compression on your thighs. Great. And you can go forward into your wrists if you want, into your hands if you want to, but be mindful of the wrists. And you can circle around and just play with the movement. Now that you've got all four limbs on the ground, you can be really playful with this and just explore. And then take it to the other direction if you're circling forward. See how it feels to go in the direction you wouldn't normally choose. And feel how much the bones of your pelvis can move. Really nice, everybody. Okay, so let's come back to center. Walk your hands back. Come up to stand on your knees. So we're going to use some yoga props, but if you're at home, you can just use a cushion or something soft to support your knees, because the joints get really quite sensitive in pregnancy. We're going to take the left knee onto the foam block, and we're going to take our right foot forward. Great. So just a couple of alignment points when we come into a lunge. You want to make sure that you're feeling nice and stable. So the wider our foundation, the more stable we feel. So make sure that you have a little bit of space between your legs. The knee is stacking over the ankle, not ahead of the ankle. And we've got lots of natural length in our low back, so we're not tilting the pelvis forward. Press your foot down into the floor. Feel your leg turn on. Maybe even lift your toes a little to lift the arch of your foot and feel the leg really active, the pelvis nice and steady. And we'll take the hands to prayer position. Great. Take a big breath in and out. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Press down into the floor as you do that. Exhale wide with the arms. So stay really steady in your front foot. Inhale, reach the arms wide, reaching, looking. And as you exhale, float the hands down through the center line. Let's try that a few more times. Breathing in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Lovely. Hands down through the center line. Let's drop our forearm onto our thigh. So just rest yourself there. And instead of the arm being all flaccid, just open up the palm of your hand so your arm stays nice and strong. And then inhale and reach your arm up to the ceiling. So initially we're just going to reach up. We're going to see how much space we can get in our waist and in our side ribs. And then on an out breath, drop your arm back behind you towards the wall behind you. Inhale, look forward, reach forward. Exhale, the arm comes back behind you. So you're feeling space come into the shoulders as you breathe and move. Stay steady in your standing foot and feel your foundation support you. One more breath. If it feels okay, follow your hand with your gaze. If it doesn't feel too wobbly, you can look forward to one spot. Now, our hand is going to drop down, our left hand to the floor, or perhaps to, in the yoga studio, we have lovely bricks available to us that can stand up or be on the side. But at home, you could just use an object that's going to be really supportive, that brings the floor a little bit closer to you. So I'm going to stand mine up just so you can see the height differences. Dolores and Julianne, you can leave them high or down, whichever feels good for you. Take a hold of your brick. Make sure this is a really solid, steady object. And we're going to turn now away from our knee and take a twist. Open through the chest, open through the collarbones. Take the head back, open the throat, and breathe into the space of your belly. One more breath here. And as you exhale, take your hand back down to your thigh. And now we're going to take our block, our brick out in front of us. And again, we don't necessarily need to use that. We can just walk our hands out in front of us. So for this particular movement, we're going to keep the legs as they are. We're going to walk our hands out in front of us or spread our block out in front of us. Make lots of space in the low back. Take a breath in, look forward, lengthen out the spine. And as you exhale, fold and just frame your head in your upper arms. If it's congesting in any way for you, just stay looking forward. The arms and spine lengthen forward. The hips press slightly back. And we get space, side ribs, waist, low back, low belly. Fill them with your breath. Let's slowly walk our hands back into the line of our toes. So we're going to take our hands back, line up the fingertips with the toes, and then inhale, lift your chest, lift your heart. Exhale, bow down, dropping the head towards the mat. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling, bowing down. Now again, if there's heartburn or congestion, let's try it once more. We don't drop the head down. We just stay looking forward. Let's come back up on an inhale. Take the hand to the thigh and press yourself up to center. Now, to change sides, we need to be pretty mindful of the bones of our pelvis. So engage your pelvic floor muscles, just simply lifting and gathering the muscles of the pelvic floor and holding them as you bring the knee to the mat. Yeah? And then shift your prop underneath your other knee, moving your cushion if you're at home. You might need support under your joints. It might feel perfectly comfortable just on your yoga mat or on your surface at home, but it's nice to support things. If you used a block on the other side, just have it ready for your right hand to connect to when you come to the twist. Find your lunge, settle the knee over the ankle, lift the toes for a moment, exaggerate the inner arch of your foot. Feel the pelvis nice and steady, so we're not dropping forward or tucking under. We just feel a nice sense of support. Hands to prayer position. So as the arms go in the air, we're going to think about the foot pressing down into the floor. So on an inhale, reach up. Exhale, wide with the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, down through the center line. Beautiful. Let's try it again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Gorgeous. Let's drop our forearm to our thigh. Open the palm of your hand that's resting there. And now reach away and reach up. And just feel the side body open as you do that. Take your breath into the spaces that sometimes are really quite full with baby's growth. And as you exhale next time, the arm's going to drop back behind you. And as you inhale, you're going to reach the arm forward, take it around and back. And again, if you want to follow the hand with your gaze, just be mindful of your balance. Big breath in and out. Lovely. So let's bring our hand now to our brick, resting your right hand to your brick or indeed the floor, and then twisting yourself open, rolling the collarbones around, turning from the upper spine, pressing down into your front foot and breathing into the space of your belly. As you breathe out next time, hand drops back to the thigh. And we're going to bring our block out front of us, or we're going to just take our hands out front of us, whichever works for you. Let's inhale, lift the heart, and as we exhale, slide or walk the hands forward. The hips are going to stay back, so imagine that they're being lightly tugged back. And the arms and spine go forward, and the head just frames between the upper arms or anywhere that feels comfortable in your body. Again, if there's congestion, look forward. Try not to drop the head. Big breathing. Exhale, just breathing into the space, softening into the rib cage, into the low back, and into the low belly. On your next inhale, look towards your block, look towards the front. And now let's take the hands back. I'll just move the block out of the way. Fingertips and toes are going to line up, and we're going to lift up onto the tippy fingers as we inhale, and we're going to bow down towards the earth as we exhale. Big breath in, lifting up. And exhaling and coming down. Last one, breathing. And surrendering down. Lovely. Let's come up. Hand to thigh. Press yourself up. Engage your pelvic floor muscles. Get nice and firm in those. And then bring the knee to the floor. Great. Okay, so let's lose our blocks for the moment. We'll just leave our props to one side. We're back on all fours. So to transition to standing, we're going to come through downward facing dog. And downward dog is one of those poses in pregnancy that can feel great one week and it can feel lousy the next week. So you just see how it feels. Obviously the body gets inverted and that can be a lot of pressure in the head. So staying in the pose for 2 or 3 breaths can feel fine, but longer than that can feel a little congesting. But just see how it goes for you. So Dolores and Julianne are just going to stay in the pose as long as they wish. We're going to tuck the toes under. We'll take a big breath in. And as we exhale, we lift the knees. We're going to keep the knees bent so the bottom can go high and wide behind us and the head stays framed in the upper arms or drops back to look at the feet behind. Using the hands very actively to press into the floor. The heels descend, even with bent knees. And we breathe into the space that we're creating. To come out of the pose, we walk the hands back towards the feet. Now stay in the pose if you feel happy there. Hands are going to connect to the thighs and we're going to press ourselves up to standing. No matter what stage of pregnancy you're at, it's really important to transition really consciously in and out of poses. Great, guys. Very slowly, let's start coming out of the pose. Walk your hands back. Bend the knees and connect your hands to your thighs. Push down into your thighs and bring yourself up to standing. Fantastic. Let's just look down at our feet for a moment because sometimes we need a moment or two to let the blood settle. Okay, and we're going to come to hips distance apart with our feet. Now that might be a little bit wider than hips distance for those of you who are a little more developed in your pregnancies. Have a look at your feet and just kind of pedal your feet around on the ground and feel that the muscles of the feet are kind of massaging the floor underneath you, yeah? As if you were trying to pick things up with your toes and as if you were trying to spread out the balls of your feet and feel the heels press down into the earth. Our feet are absolutely paramount in how we carry ourselves. It starts at the bottom, it works its way up into the legs, the pelvis, and the spine. Great. Okay. So as we engage our feet, we're going to press into the outer edges of the feet. Feel the arches lift. Really nice. Weight into the heels. And press down into the balls of the toes. Big toe ball, little toe ball. Great. Let's take our hands down in front of us and hook the thumbs. Wonderful. So we're going to take a swinging vinyasa. Take a breath on each movement. We're going to come up and down, swing right, swing left, come back up, and release the arms by our sides to finish. So on an inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Come all the way down to the ground, bending your knees if you need to. Reach out to the right side. Make a big circle in the air, and as you exhale, come down the other side. Now go to the left, inhaling. Around and down, exhaling. Great. Coming up through the center. Releasing the arms. Hook the thumbs, big breath in. And out. Right side circle. Let the side body open. Let the hips move. Left side, inhaling. Around, exhaling down. Beautiful. Up through the center. Exhale. One more time. Thumbs hook. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Now feel free to bend your knees anywhere in the sequence. Right side. around and down. Left side, around and down. Up through the center. Exhale. Gorgeous. Okay, so just roll your shoulders out. Just feel things a little bit more open, a little bit more limber. Fantastic. And we're going to come into a little bit of a low back release hamstring stretch, which is really nice just to free things up in your very overburdened lower backs. I'm sure you can both appreciate that at this stage. Right foot's going to stay forward. Take your hands onto your hips. So feel the crests of your hips. Just hold on there. Then you're going to step your left foot about halfway down your mat. Great. So if this feels a little wobbly, we can make it simpler, a little bit more simple by shuffling the foot out to the right. But if you feel okay in your balance, keep the foot where it's at. We want to feel as we move forward that the right thigh bone, the right hip is moving back into the socket and the left hip is moving forward. So we're trying to keep the hip stable even though the legs are doing different things. So we have a choice to hold on to the hips, or if you'd like, you can take your hands behind your back and hold on to your elbows. And a more advanced version again is reverse prayer behind your back, which is a prayer position behind the back. Either way, we're using the position of our hands to hold the chest open. Great. So let's take a big deep breath in. And exhale, come forward. We're going to try and keep the legs straight, but if they're very tight in the hamstrings, you might need to bend the front knee a little bit. Right thigh bone moves back, and we descend forward as far as is possible for our hamstrings and our baby, and we breathe. Stay holding on to your elbows, holding on to your hips, or pressing the palms towards one another. Breathe into the space in the backs of your legs. Breathe into the space that's growing in your lower back. And then very slowly on an inhale, bend into your front knee a little and slowly rise up. Great. Release the hands. Keep bending into the front knee and step the back foot up. Lovely. Step the front foot back. So the right foot's going to go back. And we find the same bind for the second side. So we hold on to the elbows, or reverse namaste, reverse prayer, or we hold on to the hips. And then just see if you can draw the left thigh bone back a little bit. Great. Keep widening out into that back heel, really supportive back foot. Big breath in. Exhale, begin to move forward and keep drawing your left thigh bone, your left hip back, just to stay nice and steady and balanced in the hips, moving as far forward as hamstrings and baby will allow. Lovely. Feel into the stretch. Direct your breath into the space that's opening in your body. Really inhabit the sensation you're feeling. Bending into the front knee and very slowly on an inhale, gripping your palms, your hips, your elbows, rise up. Release the bind, take a hold of the hips, and let's bend a little more deeply and step up a couple of hops or one clear stride. Great. Feet hips distance apart. So between each standing pose, we want to just ease out the hips and the low back. So nice soft knees, and then turning the hips around. Great. So some women naturally feel to do big, exaggerated circling, and some like small, less movement. Let's take it in the other direction. Just feel into the bones of your pelvis as they move. Feel which area of the circling feels good. And maybe iron out that crease a little bit more by spending a bit more time in that area. Great. Let's come back up to stand. So we're going to take our feet wide into a wide-legged standing position. So we're going to use the length of our mats, and we're also going to use our block. So if you're at home, just find something at home that's nice and solid and steady. Ideally, it's a yoga block, but we could be using a nice big stack of books, something that's going to support you. So we'll take the feet wide. Now, classically in yoga, we go quite wide in these ones. We don't want to feel any strain through the pubic bone, through the groin as we widen the legs, yeah? So just find a happy distance for your legs. And we want to just take the feet parallel to the edge of the mat. So little toe side is going to line up with the edge of the mat. Great. Press down into that outer edge of your foot and feel your arch lifting up a little. Great. And we'll take the hands to prayer position. Take a big breath in. And out. Release the hands. Take them to the hips. On your next exhale, hinge forward. Let's come forward. Now again, if the hamstrings are very tight, a little micro bend in the knees is fine. Taking yourself down, hands to the floor initially. Just let the fingertips settle on the ground. And we'll take ourselves into a little breath work here. So inhale, lift up onto your fingertips, look forward. Exhale and fold down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale and softening down. And again, if it doesn't feel good to drop the head, stay looking forward on your exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Let's inhale, look forward. And as we did earlier on, we're going to keep the hips back and we're going to walk the arms out in front of us, creating lots of length and space in the low back. And if you have a block or something to support your hands to bring the floor a little closer to you, you can use that. Walk the hands or the block as far out in front of you. Press the hips back. Lengthen through the spine, through the side ribs, through the armpits, and allow your head to frame between the upper arms, or perhaps look forward if, again, there's congestion. Breathe into the space of your back, into the space of your ribs, and feel your legs firm. On your next inhale, look towards the block. Now change the pivot of your feet. You're going to bring your heels in and your toes out. Great. Then we're going to bend the knees and sit the bottom back in space as we press the block forward once again, or indeed have the hands on the floor. Great. Hips back, bottom drops, lower back lengthens. Big breathing. One more breath here, really firming the feet on the floor. And on your next inhale, look up. And as you exhale, take one hand back at a time to your thighs. Great, one hand at a time. Press down into the thighs and slowly bring yourself up to stand. Just keep the gaze down for the moment. Allow the blood flow to settle. And then heel toe your feet back to hips distance. Great. Let's turn in once again to the front of the mat. Bend the knees and circle the hips. And just ease out. So this is a really lovely movement to bring into labor. It not only dissipates the intensity of contractions. Let's take ourselves back in the other direction. It's a fantastic aid to baby's descent. The bones of your pelvis are moving. The walls that restrict baby are mobile, so we can really open things up and encourage their descent. Okay, so let's come back to stand. So we're going to come back down onto the floor. We'll turn around to travel to the back of our mats. So standing at the back of your mat, we have the length of the mat out front of us, And we're just going to come down really consciously and slowly to the floor once again. So the hands come to the thighs. We take a big breath in. And as we exhale, just glide your hands down your thighs as you bend your knees, and then reach for the floor. Walk your hands forward until your knees arrive. Lovely. And once again, back on all fours, we'll just take a very simple cow-cat move with the breath. Inhale, lift the heart, draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale and curl in. Breathing in and out. Lovely. Coming back to a neutral spine, just walking your hands back, sitting yourself back on your heels and bringing your legs out from underneath you. Great, so we'll take our legs out front of us. We have the option to always support our seat with a block or a cushion. If things are feeling tight in the low back, just lift the hips a little, just to get a little bit more extension in the spine, but both of you look very comfortable on the mat. So we're going to come into diamond pose, yeah? The heels are quite a distance away from the groin, and the leg bones are rotating out. So we get quite a lot of feedback from the outer hip and low back in this one. So feel free to move the heels a little closer, a little further away, just to find the sweet spot in your body, yeah? So the hands sit on the knees for a moment, just for you to get nice and tall on an inhale. And then as you exhale, just glide your hands down your shins and bury your thumbs into the arch of your foot. Flex your toes back. Lovely. Big breath in. And as you exhale, just fold down, bend the elbows and bring yourself forward. And breathe there. Soften your knees, soften your jaw, soften the expression on your face, and rest your shoulders. And as you lean forward and baby moves into this diamond shape we've created, we just let go across the lower back. We let go in the hips, we let go in the groin. And obviously if anything feels uncomfortable, we come straight back up. But if we're feeling a satisfying, challenging stretch, we breathe into the space that's feeling the opening. That's where we direct our energy, our attention, and our life force. On your next inhale, slowly bring yourself up. And we're going to bring the heels a little closer to the groin. So you can either repeat diamond pose, but if things are feeling okay, either side of the pubic bone and the feet are happy to come a little bit closer to the groin, we bring them in. And we can hold on to either the ankles or hold on to the underside of the feet, whichever gives you a nice grip. So again, we can use a block underneath the seat if you find yourself very rounded in the low back. But if everything's feeling comfortable, we can sit directly on the mat and we lift the chest through the shoulders. Great. So let's get nice and tall. Breathe. Full deep breath in, really allowing the knees to open to the sides. And as you exhale, optional this time, if you want to come forward, well, everything's optional, but let your elbows bend a little and press into your upper thighs. And just allow the hips to relax and soften as your body weight hinges forward. Our tendency sometimes is to scrunch the shoulders around the ears when we do this one, so see if you can keep them nice and soft. And just breathe your breath, extending your exhale, allowing your body to soften forward as you breathe out. Opening the hips this way is so nourishing for the internal organs, particularly the womb. So just allow your breath move all the way down into your pelvic bowl. Allow your breath to travel all the way down into your pelvic floor. Lovely, guys. The eyes can close just to internalize your practice. Long out breaths. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up. And taking one leg at a time, one ankle at a time, just place the foot out to the edge of your mat with the knees deeply bent. Okay, great. So ensure you've got enough space for baby, holding on to your shin bones. So what we're going to do is, again, a cow-cat movement, but seated this time. So the inhale lifts the chest as we hold onto the shins. And then as we exhale, we take the hands to the backs of the knees and we just curl in. Now, really depending on your place or your stage of pregnancy, you can take it all the way back with straight arms if you want to, but sometimes just curling the upper spine is far enough. So let's move on the breath. Inhale, hands to shins, lift the heart. And exhale and move back. Inhaling, lifting up, hands to shins, heart opens. Exhaling and curling back. Beautiful. One last time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Great. Coming back to center. Let's stretch our legs out on the floor. Great. And we're just going to release the legs now by lightly tapping the legs against the floor. So place the hands behind you and allow the flesh of the calves and the thighs just to bounce off the ground, and then alternate it. And just release any tension in the legs and allow the tension release to move all the way up into the pelvic floor. Gorgeous. Okay. So let's take our toes back towards our face, and as we exhale, point the toes down towards the floor. Big breath in and out. And once more, big breath in and out. Draw the toes in towards each other. Roll them back and away. And in and around and away. And then change the rotation. Go out to the sides and bring them back in. Great. Okay, and then just spread out all your toes and scrunch them in. And spread out all your toes and scrunch them in. Lovely. Okay. So let's take a little bit of time just lying down, just to allow all of that to integrate. There's a couple of things we can do. We can grab our bolster. Now for both Dolores and Julianne, lying on the back is no longer really an option. It's not terribly comfortable. So we use our bolster or any pillow that you might have at home to support you. And it's going to be used to separate the legs from knee to ankle. And you're going to come to lie on your left side. Or if there's any sensitivity in the pubic bone and it feels more comfortable, you can just have your bolster lay alongside your straightened left leg and pop your right leg on top. So we always lie on the left side. We lie with the heart. Coming down onto the side, just making sure that the bolster feels comfortable between the legs. And I'm going to go and grab a blanket for both of the ladies to place under their heads. And if you're feeling at all cool, place a blanket over you, but do be as comfortable as possible here. Let's replace that block with a blanket, Dolores, so it's a bit more cozy. Great. So whatever you have at home that will make this time in relaxation as satisfying as possible. We've practiced for the past little while, and it's really important to allow this practice to integrate, to allow the body to settle and to relax and to deeply rest, even if only for 5 minutes, but ideally a little bit longer. So feel your whole back body or your whole side body on the floor. Feel all of the points of contact. We're going to take 2 or 3 really big deep breaths just to surrender a little bit more deeply. So take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Sighing if that feels good. Try it again. Big breath in. And last one, as if you were deflating tires in your body. Exhale. Keep the mouth open, the lips and teeth slightly parted. And allow the jaw to relax. Settle your tongue in your mouth. Surrender the weight of your head to the floor. Surrender the weight of your shoulders, the lengths of your arms and the palms of your hands. Soften through the torso, the spine, the chest, the belly. And allow the floor beneath you to hold completely. Giving the weight of the pelvis, the lengths of the legs, the feet. Allow the pelvis and legs now be held by what's beneath you, what's supporting you. And as we let go of effort, we allow relaxation. It's very effortful to hold tension. So we let go of effort. We become effortless. And we reach a state of relaxation and softness and surrender. Let the breath come and go effortlessly. Release holding, tension, tightness, and allow softness, relaxation, and a sense that the body now restores itself as it takes the next few minutes in stillness and silence. If at home you are lying on your back, slowly roll yourself over now to your left side and spend a moment or two there. We'll very slowly begin to breathe a little more deeply. Coming back to breath and body. Beginning to move through the fingertips, through the toes, just adding the tiniest movements to your body to awaken once again. Let's begin to stretch a little on the floor. If that feels good to do, perhaps the legs move and stretch. Perhaps the arms move and stretch. And then very slowly, moving in your own time, take your time. Return to a comfortable, seated position. As soon as you're seated, close your eyes and take your hands back to your belly. Relax your shoulders down your back. Soften the expression on your face. And now drop your attention all the way into where your hands are placed, once again connecting with your baby. We'll close the practice by chanting Om together just one time, just allowing that sound to vibrate in you and around you. Let's take a deep breath in. And now let your chin fall. Keep your eyes closed for a moment or two more. And then we'll very slowly open the eyes and we'll give baby a little pat or a little rub just to signal the end of class. And then very slowly bringing the head back to center. Namaste. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. And thank you at home. Have a great day.